Back in 2013, Elon Musk unveiled his theory of the Hyperloop in a widely circulated and now well-known white paper. Hyperloop Alpha explains how vacuum tube transport could revolutionize modern transit. In this presentation, Musk acknowledges the scientific viability of supersonic passenger aircraft, admitting it's likely the best option for affordability and practicality. The Hyperloop, or something similar, is in my opinion the right solution for the specific case of high-traffic city pairs that are less than about 1,500 kilometers or 900 miles apart. Around that inflection point, I suspect that supersonic air travel ends up being faster and cheaper. He proposes something called a pod, or passenger car, that will move through the tube in a near vacuum of airspace. His design addresses and solves issues with air pressure and resistance to reach speeds that modern-day trains could never hope to reach. A fan installed on the front of the pod alleviates pressure buildup as the mechanism moves forward through the tube on air bearings. The energy needed to propel the pod near 700 miles per hour is derived from the onboard battery that has the ability to recharge during transit using built-in solar panels. In the original white paper, Musk hypothesized the cost of building a loop in California that stretches north to south across the state would cost roughly $6 billion. Not surprisingly, Hyperloop 1 hints that the cost might be significantly more than that, but the startup company continues to raise capital through investments, including billionaire Richard Branson, who recently became chairman and renamed the company Virgin Hyperloop 1. Plans for their first operational loop in Dubai could happen as soon as 2021. The route suggested in the 2013 Alpha Level design document was from the greater Los Angeles area to the San Francisco Bay Area. The conceptual system would begin around Sylmar, just south of the Tijon Pass, follow Interstate 5 to the north, and arrive near Hayward on the east side of the San Francisco Bay. Several proposed branches were also shown in the design document, including Sacramento, Anaheim, San Diego, and Las Vegas. No work has been done on the route proposed in Musk's Alpha design. One cited reason is that it would terminate on the fringes of the two major metropolitan areas, Los Angeles and San Francisco, resulting in significant cost savings in construction, but requiring that passengers traveling to and from downtown Los Angeles and San Francisco and any other community beyond Sylmar and Hayward to transfer to another transportation mode in order to reach their final destination. This would significantly lengthen the total travel time to those destinations. A similar problem already affects present-day air travel, where on short routes, like LAX to SFO, the flight time is only a rather small part of door-to-door travel time. Critics have argued that this would significantly reduce the proposed cost and/or time savings of Hyperloop as compared to the California high-speed rail project that will serve downtown stations in both San Francisco and Los Angeles. Passengers traveling from financial center to financial center are estimated to save about 2 hours by taking the Hyperloop instead of driving the whole distance. Others question the cost projections for the suggested California route. Some transportation engineers argued in 2013 that they found the Alpha level design cost estimates unrealistically low given the scale of construction and reliance on unproven technology. The technological and economic possibilities of the idea is unproven and a subject of significant debate. In November 2017, Arrivo announced a plan for a maglev automobile transport system from Aurora, Colorado to Denver International Airport, the first leg of a system from downtown Denver. Its contract describes completion of the first leg in 2021. In February 2018, Hyperloop Transportation Technologies announced a similar plan for a loop connecting Chicago and Cleveland and a loop connecting Washington and New York City. The Hyperloop concept has been explicitly open sourced by Musk and SpaceX, and others have been encouraged to take the ideas and further develop them. To that end, a few companies have been formed, and several interdisciplinary student-led teams are working to advance the technology. SpaceX built an approximately 1 mile long subscale track for its pod design competition at its headquarters in Hawthorne, California. Hyperloop Transportation Technologies are in the process to sign a letter of intent with the Indian government for a proposed route between Chennai and Bengaluru. If things go as planned, the distance of 345 kilometers could be covered in 30 minutes. HTT also signed an agreement with Andhra Pradesh government to build India's first Hyperloop project, connecting Amaravati to Vijayawada in a 6-minute ride. On February 22, 2018, Hyperloop 1 has entered into a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the government of Maharashtra to build a Hyperloop transportation system between Mumbai and Pune that would cut the travel time from the current 180 minutes to just 20 minutes. Many of the active Hyperloop routes being planned currently are outside of the US. Hyperloop 1 published the world's first detailed business case for a 300-mile, 500-kilometer route between Helsinki and Stockholm, which would tunnel under the Baltic Sea to connect the two capitals in under 30 minutes. Hyperloop 1 is also well underway on a feasibility study with DP World to move its containers from its port of Jebel Ali in Dubai. Hyperloop One, on November 8, 2016, announced a new feasibility study with Dubai's Road and Transportation Authority for passengers and freight routes connecting Dubai with the Greater United Arab Emirates. So how does Hyperloop compare to a high-speed rail? Supporters argue that Hyperloop is significantly better than high-speed rail. It is lower cost and more energy efficient because, among other things, the track doesn't need to provide power to the pods continuously, and because the pods can leave every 30 seconds, it's more like an on-demand service. It's potentially 2 or 3 times faster than even high-speed rail, and 10 times faster than regular rail services. The Hyperloop can also be useful for space travel and exploration. According to Musk, Hyperloop would be useful on Mars, as no tubes would be needed because Mars's atmosphere is about 1% the density of Earth's at sea level. For the Hyperloop concept to work on Earth, low-pressure tubes are required to reduce air resistance. However, if they were built on Mars, the lower air resistance would allow a Hyperloop to be created with no tube, only a track. The Hyperloop can be a game-changer in the worldwide transportation industry, and even open the possibility for space exploration in the future. We only have time to tell when it's exactly going to be a reality and not just a blueprint.